Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Sutton Stracke reveals last conversation she had with Garcelle Beauvais. Sutton Stracke revealed she has spoken to Garcelle Beauvais one time since she announced her exit from The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills in March. During a May 2025 appearance on SiriusXM's Jeff Lewis Live, Stracke said she last spoke to Beauvais on March 25, the day Beauvais announced that she was leaving the Bravo reality show after 5 seasons. "We spoke the day that she made her announcement," Stracke told host Jeff Lewis. "You know, she just said, I couldn't talk to anybody because I knew that you would convince me not to leave. And yes, that's probably true." Beauvais has since unfollowed Stracke and all of the other RHOBH cast members, with the exception of Season 14 friends of Jennifer Tilly and Kathy Hilton, on Instagram. In the interview with Lewis, Stracke said she loves Beauvais and is giving her the space she needs. "I would never want to hurt Garcelle intentionally, so I'm sorry that she feels that way and I'm sorry that it went down like that," Stracke said. "I'm hoping I can rectify things later," she added. "Sometimes I think when you're really close with someone and you get hurt in the relationship, you need time away to heal. I'm hoping that we can rectify and fix everything. I think that down the road, Garcelle and I really need to have a long, thoughtful conversation that's private. I just hate that this has happened. Garcelle was a very good friend, and I love her dearly." Stracke previously told Page 6 why she decided to give Beauvais space amid her RHOBH exit. "Garcelle has chosen to unfollow all of the housewives," Stracke said in April. "I can only imagine that she needs a clean break right now. I love her and am giving her the space she needs." In late February, Beauvais walked out of the RHOBH reunion taping without posing for a cast photo. "I'm out," she said as she walked off stage following the reunion taping. Backstage, she told production she wanted the cameras off of her. "I'm not doing this anymore. I don't want cameras here," she said. "And I never say I don't want cameras. I'm always a team player. But there's no team. Everybody jumped at me, and I felt like I was on an island by myself," she said of what went down during the reunion. "I can't be friends with people like that. I can't trust them. I don't trust them, and they obviously don't like me." Beauvais announced her exit from the show weeks later via an Instagram video message to fans. "I've decided to leave Beverly Hills," she said in the clip. "It's been a wild ride. I mean, some amazing things have happened, and some hard things have happened, but it's been a ride nevertheless." Beauvais explained that she was leaving the show to focus on family and her acting and producing in Beverly Hills and the soft California light filters through the grand windows of Sutton Stracke's boutique. The designer and reality star sits comfortably, dressed in a pastel-toned blouse that mirrors her trademark Southern grace. With a warm smile and a knowing look, she leans in ever so slightly when asked about her friend and fellow Real Housewives of Beverly Hills castmate, Garcelle Beauvais. "Oh, Garcelle," Sutton says with a nostalgic chuckle, "that woman can read me like an open book, and close it just as fast when she's had enough." What follows is not just a recap of a conversation, but a journey into friendship, missteps, humor, and that complex dance reality TV stars often do between their public and private selves. "It was during a late night in Malibu," Sutton begins. "We had wrapped up filming for the day, but Garcelle and I stayed behind on the deck overlooking the ocean. The waves were loud enough to drown out the noise of everything else. Producers, cameras, expectations. It was just the two of us and a bottle of wine we didn't plan to share but ended up finishing." Sutton pauses, thoughtful. "We were both tired, not just I've had a long day tired, but tired in our bones. I think people don't always realize what it costs us to be so open. On camera, off camera, it all blurs after a while." It was then, Sutton says, that Garcelle turned to her and said, "Are we ever gonna stop doing this and just live?" A question as simple as it was loaded. "I laughed at first," Sutton recalls. "I thought she meant the show, but Garcelle clarified, no, I mean all of it. The endless explaining, defending, overthinking. When are we just going to be?" That single question hung in the air like the mist over the ocean that night. "I told her I don't know. But if we do, can we do it together?" And she smiled. That Garcelle smile. The one where her eyes soften but still watch you like she's weighing your soul. Sutton says the moment was both casual and deeply profound. It was probably the first time I didn't feel like I was performing, even a little. With Garcelle, I'm allowed to be messy, contradictory, and unapologetically sentimental. She goes on to share how the conversation drifted to family, particularly their sons. We're both moms first. Always. And we talked about how hard it is raising boys in a world that wants them to be everything and nothing at the same time. She said she worried her sons wouldn't always see the softness in her because she has to be so strong. I told her I had the same fear. The vulnerability of that exchange, Sutton says, is something that doesn't always make the final cut of the show. Sometimes the cameras catch the tears, but they miss the why. They don't catch the long pauses, or the sighs between words. They certainly didn't catch it that night in Malibu. Still, Sutton lights up when she recalls how the night ended. Garcelle asked me if I remembered the first time we met. I said of course. She wore a yellow blazer and made a joke about being allergic to bulls, and I instantly knew we were going to be friends. Garcelle, always quick with wit, replied, and yet here you are surrounded by it. They laughed, and then they laughed harder. That was the last thing we said before she got into her car. Still surrounded by it, she said. I replied, but better equipped for it. She blew me a kiss, and that was that. It wasn't some big dramatic goodbye, it was real. It was us. Since then, the two have exchanged texts, shared memes, and sent the occasional voice note. But that evening remains the last face-to-face conversation they had. When asked if anything was left unsaid, Sutton pauses. Not really. And that's the beauty of our friendship. We've had disagreements. Lord knows we've had them, but we always come back to honesty and humor. That's our glue. And what about the future? Oh, we'll see each other again soon, she assures. But even if we didn't, I'd carry that night with me. We spoke like two women who've been through the fire, who chose to stay soft in a world that keeps asking us to harden. There's something poetic in the way Sutton tells the story, equal parts sincerity and elegance. It's not a conversation about celebrity feuds or season plot twists. It's about connection, the kind that rarely gets airtime but defines everything behind the scenes. As the interview winds down, Sutton offers one more anecdote. You know what's funny? That night, Garcelle made a toast. She said, to the chaos that brought us together and the clarity that keeps us that way. I laughed so hard I nearly spilled my wine, but now I think about it often.